just gonna leave it. Right. Okay.
You gonna leave it, or shall I?
I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'll probably still look at that. No, I'm gonna.
Well, here we are.
Yeah,
ADHD.
We're back. Hi, it's Michelle with ADHD How To and
WTF. And I'm Lindsay. Hi.
Yeah, and she's Lindsay.
Hi,
Okay.
I'm Lindsay. Oh,
hold on. Yes, real quick. Hold on. I gotta cover this one part up because otherwise we look at ourselves. And all right, I said a thing like I remember to post the link, and so I said if any of our friends, because I don't think anybody that doesn't know us is tuned in right now. If any of our friends are watching, then they can be like, "Hey,
yeah." And if you just want to be friends, you can still say hi.
Yes, we got. Oh my gosh! So we had another person, and we lost one person already.
Aww.
They better have just lost phone service or something because that's rude.
All right.
So we just did our last episode just a few minutes ago. If you have not seen it yet, if you're just now joining us, which means if you're anybody other than her sister Maggie, then
not our last episode, but I mean our previous episode,
like the one we just did like 15-20 minutes ago. So what we were talking about today is the physical impact that ADHD has on our bodies. And so the last one we were talking about how specifically when you come down from a high dopamine producing activity, the crash that happens afterwards. Just if you weren't here at the last one, super, super fast. Examples are like after your birthday, day after Christmas, day after you come home from vacation, how that dopamine, it's just, and you're like in this state of depression. It's hard to get anything done.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably what, like, at least for me, I will not unpack my suitcase forever. You just have no motivation. So that whole thing. So now we are back and we are going to talk about, so that's how the dopamine affects us, but we're going to talk about how adrenaline and cortisol impacts us. Adrenaline meaning how it will keep you from feeling pain in the moment. And I have an example of that I'm going to give.
Mm-hmm.
And cortisol, how it will increase your pain. So I keep, I almost said advertising. I keep promoting how today's, you have something in your eyelash. I'm worried it's going to get in your eye.
It probably will.
Let me save your life.
Thank you.
There.
Oh.
As I like poke you in the eye. Okay.
We're good.
So,
yeah, that's funny. The example you have, and then my example of the other energy would be one of my kids doing something.
Yes.
Like the cortisol is increased with their mental pain of the thing that just happened, and it's 3 times as worse. Anyway.
And so the cortisol, when like I keep advertising or promoting, and I'm like, hey, if you have a high stress job, if you have family members or people in your life, they cause you a lot of tension. If you have that, and you also deal with chronic pain, or even like chronic GI issues. Hey guys, shut that door. We film up at my classroom and we have our kids with us.
We swear that we like give these prompts for them, but
hey guys,
it never goes as planned.
We're 2 moms and this is real life. So if you have a high stress job, oh my goodness, I almost knocked off my laptop. If you have a high stress job or you have a lot of people in your life that cause you a lot of you have a lot of pains in the ass. Sorry for cussing. And you deal with, oops, my thing blew.
Actually, that made me think of something too, is if you're in a relationship and it is not really good for you because either they're reacting, they're constantly at you and you don't even have time to breathe. It's actually very similar.
Yeah,
in the same way. Where how are you even going to get out when you can't even think for yourself? You're only tuned to the urgency of their needs, right?
Yep.
So, okay.
If you have chronic pain, if you have chronic GI issues, if you suffer from frequent headaches, I'm not saying like don't go to the doctor to make sure you ain't got a brain tumor or something. Not to wish that on anyone, but this thing is blowing. We have to cover up our laptop screen because otherwise we will look at ourselves. And so I have my phone set up.
We're gonna upgrade
behind it
soon.
Yeah, yes. One day.
Okay.
When we create a Patreon and people start like donating. Anyway. But so not saying that's the only reason you might be having these symptoms, but I guarantee you,
because we are not medical professionals.
Okay. Oh yeah, we're supposed to say that. I guarantee you, if your life is like that, your pain is increased because of those things. And we're not just going to tell you that and be like, hey, now you know, have fun. We have some tips and tricks and some good information that is going to help you combat that. So, the example that I wanted to give first, if this is your first time to ever watch, I don't know if we have any first timers. I am obsessed with lip gloss. I have to have like 47 of them at all times. I'll put it on 100 times. I'm obsessed with this kind of Red Bull, and I touch my hair all the time. I try to stop. I can't. I have a fidget. I think my medicine is wearing off because I'm talking really fast right now.
Well, what's interesting too is if it depends on the time of month. I might be cussing a lot more when it is the time. So just so you know, that's a personal indicator, right? I bet you're kind of like, now you're going, uh-oh.
No, now I'm like, remember when you asked me if I thought that cussing was one of my core personality traits?
Yes.
I kind of think it might be.
It is, but she was like being so hard on herself where she was like, oh, I'm horrible. I can't do that. And I was like, you have to let that go. Plus, besides, there's monthly times where you are more stressed.
Yeah, just for like
okay,
conviction, religious reasons, I really am trying to be better. Jesus loves me, but I cuss a little. All right. So anyway, I do have this fidget. If you like, this is just real quick. I think it's because I'm so excited about this topic.
All good. Yes,
This is a really good fidget. So here's my example. I posted the video on Wednesday night. I've always talked about how on Wednesdays here at my classroom, I host a teen hang for neurodivergent teenagers while they're upstairs. 90% of the time, I'm sitting outside in the parking lot on my tailgate. We're on a side road, but like, here's our side road. Right here is a state highway. And so I just happened for the first time ever to move my truck so that I was sitting on the tailgate facing the highway. Sitting there, not even a few minutes after I posted the little video about the cute little moth that I found, we hear this, and then boom, 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 boom. Run over there. This little 25-year-old teacher, a guy blew a tire, spun out. He was sideways in the road. She hit him and flipped her Jeep 5 times. So me and another mom, we run over there. We get there. Because anybody that's local, I don't give away where my location is, but there's a shop next to us, an auto shop. And so the guys, they ran out, they ran across the street. They were able to get her door open. They were able to get her out. ADHD people, we are excellent in a crisis. We are excellent in an emergency. My adrenaline through the roof. So they were able to get her out, and they brought her over to the side of the road. And I could tell that she was really young. And so instantly, like mama hen, because her mom wasn't there, she was driving by herself. So I jump on the ground and I'm on my knees, and we're like, are you okay? Other people had come up by now. They're checking her out. She has like a scrape on her elbow. I asked her, like, is it okay for me to lift up your shirt? She had blood on her side. She had a little scratch. And I was checking her head and everything, and she just had some little scratches right here. So I was like brushing the glass out of her hair. This is all part of the story. But I'm on my knees the whole time, like propped up on my knees, just hugging her, wouldn't let her go. She's trying to dial her phone, trying to call her boyfriend. And I was just like rocking with her. And I'm like, it's okay, baby. It's okay, baby. Did that for like 20 minutes. Then paramedics get there, which they took a long time. I'm just going to say, no offense, but it took a long time. Metro, way too long. So they finally get there. And so I get up, and she was crying because she had, and when I was down there, I was able to pray over her, and another lady came over and they laid hands on her too. None of this is, I always feel like I need to preface this. None of this is, oh, Michelle, oh, you did such a great job. No, if you are a freaking human being and you have 2 ounces of a heart, this should be your muscle reflex. It should be what you just do. So we noticed that there was money flying everywhere. And she ran a small business. She's a teacher at a local school, but she also runs a little craft business. And so her money box, everything that she owned had flown out of this Jeep.
Right.
She had a little money box. So we're running around. We're trying to collect money. she made like tumblers and shirts and wreaths. So we're trying to grab all of her stuff out of the road and put it in her totes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going. I'm not thinking.
Right.
Maybe an hour out there trying to clean up. I'm like digging through her mangled Jeep because I told her, I'm like, baby, you are not getting this thing back.
Right. And you get all your stuff now. That's right.
Yeah, it's going to a tow yard. You're not getting your things back. I rolled my car 5 times when I was 18 on a highway doing 70-something miles an hour. A dog, ran out into the road, but then stopped and stood there. Not thinking about physics, I slam on my brakes. I spin out. I flip. I ended up on the opposite side of the highway. I ripped the lane merging sign out of the ground, and that's what stopped me.
Wow. Yep.
Got out, barely, like, not injured really at all, just like her. But I remember, like, all my stuff was in my glove box. My stuff was in my console.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, no, that's nobody. I don't know who's watching. But so I told this other lady, I said, we need to get everything out of her vehicle,
right,
including her glove box. If she has a toolkit, it turned out she had an Apple Watch in there, her chargers, all of it. So we completely cleaned out her vehicle. This is all part of the story. So I'm digging through this stuff. Adrenaline is going. I feel nothing.
Right.
Get home. So then when I came back up to the classroom, I was like my hands are shaking. So
that's
Wednesday,
the adrenaline wearing off.
Yeah. So Wednesday night, I'm getting ready to go to bed, and I'm like, I was so sore, and I was in so much
Where
pain.
were you sore, Michelle?
I'll show you. So like my shoulder was killing me, and I have a messed up shoulder from a car wreck. It was killing me, so I couldn't even sleep in the bed. I had to sleep on the couch. My knees were killing me, and my arm hurt. So I did not realize I had like cut up from glass digging through. I never felt it. But my knees, I did not realize until after. So the next morning, my knees are black, like bruised so bad they are black. And I'm like, how did that happen? And then I'm like, holy shit. Because I didn't think, I just jumped down on the ground.
What part of the ground?
It was a pile of bricks.
Like, was it concrete?
It was a pile of bricks.
Okay.
Next to where she was sitting on the drainage thing, the concrete drainage ditch.
Right.
I was kneeled down on my knees on a pile of bricks for like 20 minutes. My knees are so, like I'm not going to be all whatever. I wear tights that you cannot see through. They have like lining. I could see the bruises through my tights. So I had to wear freaking knee-high socks.
Well, don't hit your knee again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I just barely tapped it. I had to wear knee-high socks, overlined tights, because you could see the black bruises through there. But that's one of the things that made me think. I'm like, holy. And I don't know because I can't see the actual laptop screen. I don't know what all just showed up on that screen. But I wear modesty shorts underneath my regular shorts. So nobody just saw anything.
Okay, yes.
I am just really excited about this. That's why I'm talking so fast. But that's one of the things that made me think about this topic. I'm like,
yeah, because we were talking about energy.
I didn't feel an ounce of pain that whole entire time. It wasn't until afterwards, and I was like, holy crap, how was I was kneeled on a pile of bricks. No wonder it hurts. No wonder my arms hurt. We got freaking sliced up by glass everywhere. My finger, like they're a little bit better now because it's been 2 days, but all her little change flew out of her money box. And there's glass all over the ground, like the little black glass. I'm just
same thing
grabbing stuff, but you don't feel it because adrenaline.
Well, I bet if you texted her right then too and been like, "Are you okay? How you feeling?" Because that's what happens with any kind of accident like that. You don't feel it then, and then a couple of days later, you're like, "I can't move today."
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why you should never, ever, anybody, you get in a car wreck and they're like, "Are you fine?" Say, "I don't know." Go to the hospital because it could be a week later. That's what happened to me when we had our car wreck. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine." 2 years of physical therapy, steroid shots, all this. It's still not fixed, but never just say, "Yeah, I'm
you
fine."
Don't have to take the ambulance ride to get that. You just need to get checked out again. Like, for real, because exactly what she says. All types of things can happen.
Yeah, but that adrenaline going, you don't feel anything.
Yeah.
And then, like we'll talk about in a second, on the opposite side of that, that's what adrenaline does. And just real quick, so the actual medical, so adrenaline, also known as epinephrine, it reduces your pain perception through a process called stress-induced analgesic. Oh, it's like an analgesic, like a pain blocker, basically. Here's how it does it. So the activation of your fight or flight response, adrenaline is released by your adrenal glands during stress, and it activates your sympathetic nervous system for immediate action. Then the adrenergic, I just said that wrong, I bet, receptor stimulation, it's because I don't have on my, put on my readers to make me look smart, actually, so I can read it better. Adrenaline binds to your adrenergic receptors. It increases your heart rate, your blood pressure, and your blood flow to your muscles, which this is one of those things where you get like increased strength.
Yep.
Like where they say that there's moms that lift a car off their babies, you know. It also it has a pain suppression mechanism. This is all the cortisol does this. Adrenaline and norepinephrine modulate your pain pathways. They interact with your, I'm not saying any of this right, endogenous opioids to numb your pain signals. Basically, all of your chemicals in your brain, they fire off and they're like, hey, your brain is going to take over your nerves and all your pain receptors. Your brain and your adrenaline are taking up every ounce of energy your body has. So your pain receptors do not have time. They like back of the line.
They don't. They really are. It's true. Yes.
Back of the line. It also gives you enhanced focus and clarity. It sharpens your mental focus and your sensory awareness, with the exception of you don't realize that you're getting getting cut.
It's more like everything else except for
pain.
Yeah, the physical pain.
The pain is what you don't.
Right.
And your brain prioritizes survival over discomfort, and that's all that I was thinking about. Was, I mean, she's 25, but I'm 43. I really could be her mom. But all I was thinking about was, I want to take care of this little baby girl. Her mom wasn't there. Her boyfriend wasn't there.
Right, that was it. You're like, hey, we're good. I'm good.
That's all I could think about. I'm like, and I just kept saying, I'm like, I love you. I got you, baby. I got you, baby. And I'm like trying to rub her little hair and get the glass out of her hair. So like real life examples, other than the one that I just gave, like athletes that are able to finish games even though they have major injuries, and accident victims escaping danger before they feel pain. When I lost, I talked about it on Monday, but when I lost my daughter, I actually went into labor. They did not realize that I was in labor. And so afterward, like I won't do whatever, but afterwards, you still have to deliver your placenta. No pain medication, anything. The way they did mine was very invasive. And but because I was so beyond just adrenaline, it triggered my vasovagal response. And so my blood pressure dropped. I didn't feel the pain. My blood pressure dropped and I passed out. And then I woke up in another room. But wow. So do you have an example of adrenaline where you were not able to feel pain? Nope. So that, I mean, this is, to me, it's like, it's crazy how our minds work, because the fact that just, your epinephrine being released, which to me, you know what, I kind of think, I firmly believe this is just one of the amazing ways that God made human beings, because we would not be able to survive if we did not have this.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It is pretty cool.
It is. If only, well, I blame, we didn't have periods, but that's Eve. Once again, thanks, Eve. Then on the flip side, this is the one I really want us to talk about.
Okay, what is
cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and it increases pain and sensitivity when it's chronically elevated. When it's elevated all the time. I'm not saying y'all are stupid. You don't know what the word chronically means.
No, yeah, that's like my boys with, if they're not getting along, or they were getting along and then someone did this and then they're hitting each other. Man, it's the worst thing in the world, and it's even worse. And I watch it tumble down. I watch them down spiral, and I go, man. And that is extremely hard to snap them out of that. aside from talking to both of them. But then guess what? All right, who's listening? They're not listening.
Well,
okay,
you,
now what?
you then getting onto them is increasing their stress.
Well, it's not so much to get onto it, because
you know what I mean?
There's two ways. There could be, there's the upset way, and then there's the, okay, guys, what is going on? I thought you guys were having fun, and hey, was that fun? But I see it all the time.
He's like, it was kind of fun.
They do it to themselves. I got hit, Mom, and then I see him do it to himself again. Yeah, I bumped my knee, Mom. I'm like, okay, this is might not be exactly the same thing, but
no. So, cortisol, the stress hormone, the fact that it increases your pain sensitivity, but it makes it harder to make decisions. It makes it harder to answer even the simplest questions or do the simplest tasks. I have a good example that I'm going to show, something that just happened in class this week. But to start, we'll say specifically with chronic pain. If you are somebody that deals with chronic pain, but you have a job that is just like you are kept at a 10 all the time, or if you've got crazy family and you're just constantly in a state of, and then you add in if you really do have physical ailments. If you have physical ailments, like, people have slipped discs or they have dislocated that, it will make it so much worse. So you have heightened pain sensitivity because cortisol sensitizes your pain receptors. Adrenaline and epinephrine, they suppress it, but cortisol sensitizes it. It lowers your pain threshold during chronic stress. So it's not just like a one-time thing like, I was thinking about how my car payment's due and I stubbed my toe. No, this is chronic stress. So it's like a rope. If you're constantly putting tension on it, how it gets thinner and thinner and thinner.
I was saying tighter, but yes. Okay.
Yeah, or for tighter if like to suppress your pain, but thinner as in it will break a lot easier.
Okay.
When it's chronically, whatever. So it lowers your pain threshold, but cortisol also has inflammatory effects, which I did not know that. Long-term cortisol, it disrupts your immune regulation. So being in a constant state of stress, you will probably find, if you're somebody that deals with constant stress, you get sick a lot easier. You'll catch the things a lot easier because stress disrupts your immune system. It also leads to increased pro-inflammatory, I don't know what that word is, cytokines. I don't know. That one? We're just going to skip that one. Cytokines. You can Google what cytokines means because I don't know. Also a neurotransmitter imbalance. So we already knew this. Neurotransmitters, that's the ones that release like your dopamine, your serotonin. Cortisol affects your serotonin and your dopamine production, which we already knew that, or some of us did. And then that imbalance contributes to depression and amplified pain. So basically, which this seems like common sense. If you are constantly stressed, if you are constantly in a state of tension, then that is making it so that the neurotransmitters on your brain that should be giving you dopamine, which is your feel-good chemical, your serotonin, like your another feel-good chemical, it is basically tightening the lid on those things. Sorry, I'm like looking over here. When I get going, that's what I start doing. It is tightening the lid on those things, so it's not coming out. You don't have your dopamine, you don't have your serotonin, especially if you're neurodivergent and you're already not producing enough of that, then it's going to increase your depression. And that imbalance is again going to amplify your pain. So right now, just so far, if you are undiagnosed or you have untreated ADHD, ADHD, if this is your first time ever watching, I'm going to throw in what I always say. ADHD never comes to the party alone. I do not know a single person. I don't care what any doctor says. Nobody just has ADHD. If you have ADHD.
Most doctors are noticing now, by the
Yeah.
way.
Then you've also got, you're a high anxiety person. You might be really good at masking and hiding it, but you have a lot of anxiety. And I firmly believe that it always comes with ASD, which is autism spectrum disorder, meaning you have ADHD, which is a combination of autism and ADHD. We did a video before that has a lot of we talk about the symptoms of ADHD and then ASD and the comorbidities and how you can kind of tell if you have both. But so if you're undiagnosed, you're in our age range, let's say you're a man. We'll start with just a man.
I was gonna say, or if you know anybody, this sounds familiar. Like you're like, whoa, yeah, they have this and they're chronically like this. Like there's all these things that it might be clicking. Well,
yeah. So we'll say like, okay, so if you're a dude, you're our age range. So like we'll say 40s to 50s. I ain't 50s, but if you're just FYI, I'm 29 and holding for 14 years. If you are in our age range, undiagnosed ADHD, untreated ADHD, high stress job, got some people in your life that are stressing you out, probably abroad, as in a girl, not as in somebody overseas, like a mom, if you're going through a divorce, if you're going through something, and then you add into that, you already deal with some sort of pain, like it could be an old injury or whatever. It is the perfect storm for you. You are going to feel. Oh, I keep banging it. Sorry, I'm like getting all passionate. Like you can't handle the truth. I mean, honey, I hate it because you are just. It is going to be amplified so much because of all these other things that you can't help. But we're not just saying this like sucks for you. In a second, we've got some tips and tricks on how to help that.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I've been going like, please interrupt me. Please contribute. So you have
what I was going to say is I don't even know if we said this. We're not medical professionals. Just wanted to make sure we said that. I don't know if we were. If it was this video or another, it doesn't matter. Just letting you guys know that.
I set my lollipop on a paper towel, and now I have paper towel on my lollipop. I am 5 years old.
No, I don't have much. I don't know. I'm on the journey of thinking about that and then how it affects a person. And then I keep imagining, obviously, some of those, like if they do have a high stress job, let's say if they're a firefighter and then, they're in this other thing and it's, other types of big machinery. I mean, it could mask the pain, right?
Oh, it's absolutely going to, if you have
just like what you're saying though, but it's like,
if you're in a situation or, like a lifestyle where you can never stop, meaning you either literally can't because you're someone, like if you work in the healthcare industry, you're police, firefighter, you literally can never stop because that's your job.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you can never stop because of outside stressors, like you've got somebody, unless you crawled in a hole and disappeared, you can't get away from that. But again, people our age, we can't stop because we feel like if we stop, we're lazy, we're letting people down. I don't know if Josh joined in, but I was telling Josh earlier this week, he's like, I have a hard time taking care of myself. I'm a healer. I want to make sure I'm taking care of other people. And I'm like, yeah, because I said, I guarantee you the thought of self-care makes you feel like the most selfish SOB in the world. And he just wrote back 100%.
And that's so not true, though. It's not true at all. And you have to schedule it. You have to make time for that.
I've said probably 20 times.
It's really hard, but yes.
I probably said 20 times this week to different people, you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Yes. Which has been, story of my life. Yeah.
Speaking of that, so we talked about Charlie Kirk last week. One of the things, like people are misquoting him. They're taking his quotes out of context.
I'm pretty sure all that's on purpose. So.
Well, yeah. But one of the things, like my brother ain't going to watch this. My own little brother, he messaged me and he was like, this is a man that doesn't believe in empathy. He said that empathy is something created by woke people. I've never thought about this, but it's very smart. The whole quote was, empathy is something that was made up, blah, 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 because he prefers sympathy.
Oh,
because
right.
empathy.
Yeah, so basically that was a misquote is what
Yes.
had happened. And
So,
then,
and this is very smart. He's like, empathy is where you are joining in someone, you are taking on their pain as your own. So you who are, you're not carrying any baggage. You go over to someone because you want to help them.
Oh, I was going to say, or you are, and you're still taking on somebody else's baggage.
Well, just for a very dramatic example, it's like you walking over, your hands are empty. You're at full strength to this person who is holding this big bag of rocks. Your natural human reaction, hopefully, is you're like, oh my gosh, I want to help this person. Empathy is you then take on their burden. So you're picking up the rocks too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now if your hands are full, how are you going to help them? You can't.
Yeah, you can't do that.
So instead, sympathy means you don't take on their pain.
Right, but you definitely should meet them where they're at.
Yes, you
sit down there on the ground with them.
Yes, you get on the ground with them. You hug them. You tell them it's going to be okay. But no, you are better able. It's why they tell you in a plane crash, put on your mask first. You cannot help someone else if you then jump in to the tragedy, because now you both need someone to come and save you. And for an empath, that is an impossible thing to comprehend, because you're like, no, I need to show, I physically feel so deeply for this person that this sounds like such a lame way to put it, but
don't do it like
my
that.
heart and my soul are now inside of you, and I am feeling, because this is what will happen to me. I will physically feel that person's pain.
Well, that's what an empath does,
and that's trauma response.
Well, okay,
too.
Well,
some of it,
obviously, knowing this about yourself, and if
I think some of it too is God.
If you didn't know some of this, and then you are giving, and you just can't people please, and you just lose yourself. You're empty. You have nothing left for yourself,
and nothing else to then use to help that person.
Especially that. But really, who's suffering? Who's really going to care for you? Nobody else except you. You are ultimately, you have to take care of yourself.
So I took a little side journey, but that is just to say the difference between empathy and sympathy, and why it is. So
what else you got there?
The cortisol. We said how it affects you physically. So again, if you high stress job, all the stuff I said, and you deal with a lot of chronic pain, it's magnified way more. And hopefully you don't have people in your life that do this, but if you have anybody in your life that is trying to downplay it and be like, look, like I said, we're talking about men, and we're going to do women in a second. Like, look, dude, I have a slip disc. I'm still able to do this. I don't moan about it all the time. Why are you such a whatever about it? You have different brain makeups. And if anybody in your life does that, you need to tell them to just piss off.
Yeah, I was going to say, anybody, yes, that doesn't actually show you compassion when you are in hurt, even if they've heard it a million times.
If you have anybody, or if you've ever heard that, or if you have felt like, God, I just need to get over this.
Is it worth your time? Sorry,
I just need to nut up and deal with this. What, am I not tough enough?
You also can't say that to yourself either.
No, I know. I'm saying, like, but a lot of men that are too proud.
Well, you can't say that to yourself, because when you don't, and you're still in the pain, then guess who else is beating themselves up because they can't get out of it? So, like,
which is going to increase your cortisol, which is going to make you have even more pain. And when you're in pain, you act like a DICK to people, whether you mean to or not. I know I do. It will affect your sleep. You're going to have a hard time falling asleep, hard time staying asleep. And the whole thing, it just goes into a
The cycle, right?
A huge loop.
Mm-hmm.
But it also, and what I found this week, and this is going to be really good if you have kids, but it also applies to adults.
What is it?
Increased cortisol. When your body is creating cortisol, again, it inhibits your dopamine neurotransmitter, meaning it's like, shut up, puts its hand over your dopamine's mouth. It's like, you shut your face. It's my turn. I'm the captain now. And I feel like
For us ADHDers, that is nope, that's not gonna work. That's not
and
gonna work.
So dopamine, just like adrenaline, that is what helps you lock in. That is what helps you focus. That is what helps you with your decision making. If you are in a high stress situation, not an adrenaline producing situation.
Oh, I have a good example.
Yes.
Okay, so I had to go get my son's heart checked for a heart murmur. It is a innocent heart murmur. Anyway, on the way, I have it programmed into the GPS. I get there, I'm parked, and I'm like, I think I'm in the wrong building, and I don't know how this happened because pretty much GPS always gets you there. Anyway, call the office. The lady's like, I'm going to stay on the phone with you until you get here. However, I was already freaking out because I was like, this is so wrong. I can't believe this happened. How am I supposed to find this if legit the GPS is not showing me where this exact road is? Okay. And she was calming me down in a sense, but so I get there finally, and then I know, okay, only you're shaking the table too.
Am I?
I say
my leg's going,
and only now because now that I'm late diagnosed, did I know? All right, your decision making is going to be really difficult. I was like, try and take a deep breath before you go in, and just try not to just accept everything they say, and then really be like, give myself an accommodation, say, I'm sorry, can you explain that to me in another way or whatever it was, because of that one situation that happened before I got there. And it instantly did that. I felt that diminish in my mind, in my brain. I felt that happening, like as it was happening. And
I had to write down, because you just said that Lily did something. I was very proud of her earlier this week in class. So yes, so it is. It makes it to where you can't make the simplest decisions. How many of you drive the worst when you have somebody in the car with you? If I have somebody else in the car with me, not my kids, but like, I got, my grandma. Now I got to drive her somewhere. Never driven worse in my life, because I'm stressing out for no reason.
Oh, I'm good with driving, but yeah, I know a lot of people that are.
I drive the worst. Or if I see a cop behind me, I've never even, knock on wood, I've never even had a ticket, but I see a cop behind me, and all of a sudden I'm like,
I've definitely had a ticket.
I'm like, do I have coke in my butt? Do I have a dead hooker in my trunk? Like,
I seriously stress out too when that happens, and I just start to go, oh gosh, what is everything? Am I even up to date? And I kind of go blind or something, because I'm like, oh my gosh,
it's all you can think about.
And I'm but like I feel like it's a little less now, but it's still, the thought crosses my mind. And then but nowadays hey buddy, please
talk about starter reflex. I know, right? Like I said,
nowadays it's mostly like, well, if I'm driving crazy, it's probably because I was yelling at my kids while I'm driving. But honestly, that's lovely.
It will inhibit your ability to even make simple decisions, which when you're really stressed, that's the times when you can be like, let's say you're having to, write out a proposal for work.
We're playing with that,
but you're like stressed as hell. It's going to take you forever to do it. Or once you do it and you submit it, or you do the thing, you look over it and you've made so many mistakes, and you're like, why did I do that? I know this. Why did I do that? And it's not you being lazy. It's not you not trying, not paying attention. Mm-hmm. Your cortisol level literally impacts your decision making.
Right. I have another example too. So when that happens, when you're stressed, or like recently I woke up in the middle of the night, which don't get me wrong, ADHD, we're light sleepers, right? Sleep. Yeah. But I woke up and I stayed up. So that day I knew I had a timeline. I knew that certain things I wouldn't be able to do, other things, this and that. And then there was a time I go, oh, even my motor skills diminished. And I was like, oh, now I'm getting klutzy because of what happened. Mm-hmm. And there you go. That's part of it too. So all of this applies to being stressed and being full on I love it. Being on that adrenaline level. And I mean, like, it's all related. It's all related. So
Bye.
So
A little crazy.
right when I bite my lollipop,
I'm sorry.
I have a really good example and a trick
Just open it, sweetie. Just open
to
it.
help you with this.
Open the good.
I came up with it on the fly this week. Have a little boy in my class. Oh, I apologize. Mm-hmm.
See? Don't be-
Totally chewing. I did
don't
not
be
mean.
mad on camera, girl. What
I
you
thought you
doing?
had. I thought you had more.
No, I can talk about something completely off subject that I was interested in this week. You want me to do that?
Well, I chew. I'm 5 years old.
Okay, so
No, I'm choking on it. I'll be right back.
oh, you're gonna miss it. All right, so something.
No, I'll just be right here.
This is completely off subject, but that's okay. Something got put on my radar this week, and it is called tetrachromacy. And I was like, "What is that? What is tetrachromacy?" Because I already kind of had an inclination. Basically, what they say, a rare superhuman vision. And I go, "What do you mean? I must know more." Right? So,
Superhuman vision?
Yes. Okay. Anyway, so all right. So technically, tetrachromats. Oh, I said it. Tetrachromats see colors with much greater detail and nuance than normal vision. The normal vision, able to perceive up to 100 million colors compared to the average person that can only see 1 million. It's really crazy. Crazy interesting. Now that we're on the subject. All right. So these people, they have 4 type of cone cells in their eyes, while normal, the other vision is 3 types of cones in our eyes. So the reason I even brought this up is because I was like, this one time I was out in my field and I was cutting flower and I was like, this flower looks ultraviolet to me. And this is like, does anybody else see this? And I brought it in the house. I tried to show everybody. And I'm like, do you see that purple? Do you see that really crazy, weird purple on here? I try and take a picture. I can't get the picture. And I'm like, am I that? Do I have this extra eyesight or something? I was just like, this is so cool. Because I've often wondered why I pick out some certain colors and things. And other people are like, what? Why do you have that? Or anyway.
I wish I had that, but I could see through people's clothes. Certain people, not all people. Oh. But like certain people, like if I could turn it on, you could be like, let's see what those look like.
Right. Well, and so I started to go, oh my gosh, how can I get tested for this? Because obviously there's no test on. I know you're laughing at me.
No, I'm laughing at myself because I was thinking about who I would try it on.
Oh boy. There's no test online. You actually have to get genetic testing for them to find out if you have that. And I was like, what? I go, it's just so interesting to me. But the rumored to have UV vision. And I was like, well, I did put that flower underneath a UV light to show people what I was seeing. And I was like, I'm not saying I had that, but I was looking and I go, I'm seeing something. And I know it's not supposed to be there because it's normally, anyway. More common in women, by the way.
If you're experiencing that, then it's real.
We'll see. Yeah. So normal vision is called trichromacy. And the one we're talking about is tetrachromacy. So anyway.
I knew that.
There's my random thoughts by Lindsay.
Okay.
Something I was interested in. Anyway.
So the tip and the trick that will help.
Back to topic. What is it?
So there's a little boy in my class. He is one of the most anxiety-ridden creatures that you've ever encountered in your entire life. God bless him. He gets so stressed so easy. He's ADHD, but he has the inattentive type that comes with an insane case of RSD.
Aww.
This little boy, there's never been a more behaved child on earth. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Wouldn't hurt a fly. Always petrified he's in trouble. Always thinks that he does everything wrong. And he has amazing parents. Even because AJ used to be really bad about this. He's better, but his parents and I were talking. They're like, you would think that all we did was berate him.
Oh,
and,
right.
And it's not that. So a lot of times in math, like I said, because I have neurodivergent students, if you give them an actual long worksheet, I have to cut it into strips so it's not visually overwhelming. But even that, I've noticed some of them do better if they come up to the whiteboard and they do the questions one at a time. And I'm sitting right there.
Mm-hmm.
He was working on his worksheet before. And because a couple of people had already finished, I could tell by his body
The
language.
extra stress of, oh my gosh, they're done. They're done.
Yeah,
oh my
I could
gosh,
tell
am I
by
gonna
his
finish this?
body language already because I know these
I can
kids too, and I can read them from across the
The room.
street.
That's good. Oh,
Yeah. And I could already tell that he was stressed. And so I was like, baby, I'm going to take your paper. And I was like, which one of these are you having trouble with? So we came up to the board. We start to work through it. And the first step, it was cross multiplication, 2 digit times 1 digit. So we'll say like 23 times 2. So the first step of that, like I'm just going to, because it's easier if you're looking at it visually. So like 23 times 2. So his very first step would have been just multiplying 2 times 3. He knows it. He's a brilliant kid. His stress was so high. One of his stims that he does when he gets stressed is he wrings his hands a lot. And so he wasn't even able to figure out the 3 times 2. So I told him, and this just popped in my head. It was, I guess, a God thing. I said, all right, baby, I want you to turn around and I want you to close your eyes. So he's like, okay. And I said, what did you get for your birthday this year? And he started telling me. And I said, what's your favorite thing to do in the entire world? And he's like, play such and such game, blah, blah, blah. What makes you the happiest in the world? What? And I just kept asking him all these things that I knew would produce, that the answers and the memories would produce dopamine for. Because we needed to lower his cortisol so that his brain would start releasing dopamine again, which would then help him with his mental clarity. And so I only did it for about 2 to 3 minutes, but had him close his eyes too, so that he was not looking around the room. He wasn't seeing the other kids. He wasn't anything. And he wasn't facing the board. So I had him do several. I saw his body language change, so he wasn't tensed up anymore. And I was like, okay, it's like, turn back around. What's the first step? What is 2 times 3? 6. All right. Now, what is 2 times 2? 4. Answer's 46. I said, that was easy, wasn't it? And he's like, yeah. And so I said, I want to explain to you why. I go overboard with the kids. I said, because I teach neurodivergent children, I think it is extremely important for the kids, if they are neurodivergent, if you have a neurodivergent child, please do not think, oh, well, I can't tell them that they are. Don't try to hide it from them. I have friends whose kids are autistic, but they'll be like, they don't know they're autistic.
They know.
I'm like, they know. They might not know the word, but they know there's something different about them, and it's making them feel bad.
They know. And they have a lot of questions, so you better answer it. Let them
So
know.
we do behavior ed lessons in class. We learn all about dopamine. There's a lot of videos online where they teach about it in cartoons. I'll make up examples. I'll do act outs of examples, but I make sure that in a way they can understand, they know why their brain works the way that it does. So they all already understand dopamine. They did not understand cortisol yet or adrenaline, but they have a very good understanding of dopamine. So I'm going to pull, it's a dorky drawing.
Don't worry about it.
But I did it is for a kid.
Here, just I think you can do this and then grab it here and put it right about there. I think can be seen.
Let's see. Let's move that. Can we see it? No, we can't see the whole thing. All right.
Yeah. Here.
I'm going to raise it up. All right. We're going to do it like this.
You don't have to do that high.
Oh, you know what? Whatever falls, I don't care.
There you go. So
I drew this. Drew a picture. One of the kids asked if this was balls. No.
It's a brain.
It's a brain. So I drew a picture and I was like, this is you. Said, he already knows dopamine. I'm like, dopamine is your good chemical. Makes you happy. Cortisol, it's the bad one. Boo. It's the bad chemical. When you are stressed, your brain starts releasing all the cortisol, the bad. So the only way to make it stop.
You're shaking the table, buddy.
Oh, the only way to make it stop is you have to come in, you have to shut that off, and you have to start thinking about things, reminding yourself of things or doing something that is going to give you dopamine, which this is what's going to make things clearer, make things easier, make you less stressed.
Why them?
This is what you are gonna need to do the thing. And so this understand, like, he got it immediately. So I'm like,
Yeah, like,
stress.
So in a way, you're like, find your happy place, think about that, and be like,
yeah,
I
it
can
is
do this.
when
And
they say go to your happy place.
Here.
And so that's another reason why with my students,
okay, this side's locked.
we which I think this is neurodivergent adults. It works for us too, and especially if you want to get things done. Make sure.
I was gonna say, except in our case, the thing that I have to do is I'm literally gonna have to have it plastered so that I keep remembering that that's my goal and and I could do this. And it's like I need a self-motivation, I need a self-motivational cue for myself.
Oh, what I was gonna say, like the Pomodoro, the
Yes.
the timer, but what I do in class, because the ADHD brain is driven by the brain's reward system if you want to get anything done. So
Don't touch that. Thank you.
but we also have no we do not understand delayed gratification. We will not be motivated. Like if you tell your kid, hey, if you clean your room every day for, a week, we'll go to Disneyland this summer. That ain't going to work because Disneyland this summer might as well be 75 years away. They need something that they can look forward to
Go find other toys.
very quickly. So what I do in class is every 15 to 20 minutes, usually around 15, we take a 5-minute brain break. And I know especially some old school parents or whatever, are like, I'm not going to call on my kid like that. That's going to make them lazy. I'm not going to make them do that. Let me tell you right now, they will get way more work done. You will have way less meltdowns because instead of them looking at this huge task and knowing I am not going to they're not thinking of it as like, I'm not going to get any dopamine, but their brain knows I am not going to be happy again until I'm done with this stupid thing and can then move on to the thing that I want to do. And so it's going to take them longer to do it, or they're not going to do it at all, or they're going to fight you. But every 15 minutes, we do a brain break, and it's something that will give them dopamine. A lot of times we'll do a disco dance party. I have a disco light in my room, and it will go along. It'll flash to music. And so I'll turn that on, and we will dance. We'll jump around. We'll sing. A lot of times we do it to either the cha-cha slide, the Cupid shuffle, or Thunder by Imagine Dragons.
Oh, right.
But I mean, we're going nuts, jumping up. So it's giving you, adrenaline. It is giving you dopamine. You're just, the movement, the singing, the laughing, whatever. And it really just like fills them up with dopamine.
Yep.
Then we're like, okay.
I try and do that for myself. I'm like, let me put some music on and jam with and
Yes.
change my mood. Do something else. Like, how am I going to get up and do that thing? Okay, put something on.
Yes.
Get up.
So you're giving yourself dopamine too. So it's every 15 minutes, they know, their brain's reward system knows, okay, I am going to be
done with this in like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
whatever,
I'm gonna be rewarded again in 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Teachers in school, at public school, obviously cannot do this. That's why if you're local and you have a student that you've been teaching about thinking about homeschooling, reach out to me because I'm currently enrolling.
All right, fantastic.
And I'm awesome. Of all of it, so I'm smart and beautiful and talented and a great cook and excellent dancer and a really good mom and a wonderful friend. But of all the things I'm excellent at, I think I'm best at being modest. But so at home with homework or with your kids, like if you need them to clean their room, set a timer and tell them, look, every
That's why the floor is lava works so well too. You're like, oh my gosh, 5 minutes. Okay, do that. Pick up everything you get. Yeah.
yes, set a timer and be like, look, every 20 minutes you can stop. Do not let them stop and use their 5 minutes to go on YouTube, though. Do not let their brain break. Be an electronic, because you will.
You're gonna lose them. That's too much dopamine.
You will never get them
for
back.
their those little bodies. Yes.
Tell them you want to run around. You want to go pet the cat. You want to. Lily her daughter usually wants to draw. It's whatever. Then they can go back, and then again, they're not thinking about this big ass task.
Right.
They're thinking, okay, as long as I'm working on the pieces I can, my brain's reward system is going to be activated in just a few minutes again.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps them from getting yelled at by you. You aren't stressed and freaking out, and your mood is definitely going to impact them.
Right.
Homework at home, all of these things. But the same thing goes for you, an adult. If you have a huge project due, if you have something,
what they say is to gamify it for yourself. Gamify. Mm-hmm. Which is really hard to do. So you're like, what do I do? You can put all your tasks, I've heard this, in a bingo sheet. I'm not so sure. And then you just try and make 3 in a row. I know you're looking at me like, but so
I so wouldn't do that. But if you have that kind of brain,
hear you, but I wouldn't do it that way either. But I heard about it. I'll go, oh, that's a different way, because
some people might work really
if
well
you
for
put
them.
like the random task and you're just putting 3, like how random would that be? But you're like, hey, I crossed those 3 things off my list.
But
like,
you know what I would do?
Okay.
Because creating the bingo sheet would give me so much dopamine because it's creative. I would be like, well, obviously I need to go to Hobby Lobby and buy bingo jobbers. Oh, if I really want to do this, then I probably need to order one of those Bingo Mama bingo bags. I'm going to, print out some vinyl so that I can make a shirt. And that will lead to me probably starting a business.
Yep.
And
find the domain name. Yep.
I will.
And there you go. There's the ADHD tax. Because then you realize, you know what? I really want to do this. And you spend all that money on all that.
It is. That is the rabbit hole.
This doesn't. No.
So
what's fun to you is planning the project. Figuring out where you would buy something.
I tried to do this online behavioral therapy thing with this chick to help with my executive function and get things done. And God bless her, she was dumb as a bag of rocks. Her advice to me was make a list. Oh, you think I ain't tried making a list before? Here's what happens. My life, I'm a living, breathing, walking, if you give a mouse a cookie book. That book, if you never read it, it's if you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to want some milk. If you give him some milk, afterwards he's going to notice he has a milk mustache. He's going to want to look in the mirror. When he looks in the mirror, he's going to realize that he needs a shave. After he shaves, he's going to realize, oh, I need to take a shower. After he takes a shower, he's going to be like, well, I don't have any clothes to put on. Let's go shopping for new clothes. That is my life. That is an ADHD. That mouse is neurodivergent. I told her, I said, yeah, I can make a list, but here's what happens. Before I make my list, I think, oh my goodness, the best way to do this is if I get a pretty spiral. If I get a pretty spiral, I need some cute pins.
Water's over there.
If I get cute pins, then I'm going to need something to put them in.
Oh, boy. Okay, but okay.
That's what happens. But so
let's put it sounds like you just need more direction than just make a list. Hello.
None of this she told me. But anyway, back to how it would apply to an adult.
Oh, well, it does go back to make a list, but put the important things on there. Don't put the urgent things on. And then you make them a priority because they matter to you. However.
Oh, that too. Yeah. What I was going to say is specifically in the moment. Like I am someone that I cannot work. Like right now, I'm able to not have music on because we're talking and we're doing this.
And they're super loud over there.
I cannot be in a silent room.
Right.
Or silent. I will get squirrely. I will go crazy. But like I've explained a billion times before, your brain has 2 sides. One side that holds on to a memory. The other side responds how your brain responds to that memory. I mean, how your body responds to that memory, and they don't work together at the same time. Same thing with your focus, like your dopamine, all that. And why they put people on ADHD medication. It's to help
Watch the
dopamine
chords, please.
production, because otherwise you've got none. So if you want to make an ADHD person focus, you have got to give them something to simultaneously do that is going to give them dopamine. So having music on is going to help them focus. So if you have a hard time at work, and not saying that this is the total answer, but if you have a hard time at work, paying attention, staying focused, not being in a mood, if you don't already, keep music on. Like, but the kind of music that you like. Obviously, like if you work in a big office, you might have to wear earbuds because you can't be listening to like, WAP or whatever that song is. And I think it's called, I don't know. I don't listen to that. In front of everybody. But another thing is, if you've got a big, huge project, don't sit down behind your computer and just think about the big, huge. Maggie said, "No wonder that mouse seemed familiar to me." You can't just be sitting there and looking at this overall project like, I'm never going to be able to get this done. Tell yourself, okay, I'm going to start, and in every 15 minutes or whatever, I'm going to give myself a chance to step away.
I'm going to do one thing, bite size.
Yeah,
right?
But like my husband says, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Break it down, but because even as adults, our reward system has to be activated.
Yes.
Tell yourself, okay, every 15 minutes, I'm going to step away, do something.
Right, but if you're
that is going to give you dopamine.
You can't do it automatically. You have to set a timer.
It's going to have to be a timer, because otherwise,
because you'll just let go, or you'll never come back to it, depending, right?
Or it's self-care is, I don't know if the other person watching is Josh, but like I said, self-care is fathomable when you are an ADHD person that grew up with that self-preservation, but I have to take care of everybody else thing. But it's a form of self-care. So you set a timer, make yourself step away.
Right.
Another thing that helps me, like if I have something that I need to get done, if it's not just music, I have what I call like my emotional support TV shows. There's a few shows I've seen a billion times. I've seen every episode of. I have them on in the background. The familiarity of it is very comforting. So it's producing dopamine. I can't have it on a show I haven't seen before.
Oh yes, because then I'm
going to focus on it.
Right. It's got to be something you've seen a million times that you enjoy. You love the sound. You're like, oh,
yeah,
I love this.
Mine are Everybody Loves Raymond and King of Queens.
Okay.
Those two shows, every episode at least 100 times. Because I've done it for years, but they are my emotional support.
Because that's
shows.
your system. You're like, this is what I do when I need to get things done.
It is very calming to me.
Mm-hmm.
It will produce dopamine. I'm not even listening to the actual words, like to turn around and pay attention, but it is very calming to me, and I'm able to focus more. So if you have a TV in the room, you leave that on.
Yep.
That is going to be something. It might not be producing like a ton of dopamine.
That's what I do. I've got one of these, this tablet. I do the same thing. If I have to go and do a chore and I'm just really not feeling it that day, I take that sucker and I put a TV show on that I've seen, and I set it right there, and I go and do the thing because I don't have anybody to talk to on the phone, and that helps. My goodness.
It's almost a form of
body doubling.
Yes.
But it's also having that sound in the background. So it keeps your focus, because if I put like an action movie on, which I do love, it makes you have to watch it, because obviously it's an action movie. So you can't do that. You have to do something more intellectual that your mind can listen to. And some of those shows that you're talking about where you hear them, they're talking, you get to laugh because it's funny and you're still doing your thing.
And it's comforting. It's almost like I had this conversation with Matt when we're over it now. It's fine. It's all been worked out, but we went through a really, really, really hard season at the beginning of this year where I can't stress. He's so much better about it now. So Matt, if you watch this, it's not like bringing it up again. I'm giving this example because it ends well.
We have to explain it to other people too, because
yes. So he was having a lot of animosity towards me for not doing the amount of housework and cooking that he felt like I should be doing.
Right, which is a very typical response to living with an ADHD or
yes,
that someone that doesn't understand what it actually means.
And none of it was me just trying to be lazy. None of it. I mean, afterwards, when we had our come to Jesus meeting, I had to tell him, I'm like, do you understand the cycle that I'm in where I just feel like a failure
real bad all the time
because I can't
do the
thing.
Yep.
Because he was telling me, he's like, you always tell me that you want to do it or you want to change or you're going to, he's like, and then you never do.
Of course.
So that makes me feel like you're lying.
Aww.
And he said how he feels like he was having to pick up all the slack. I bring all that up to say he works from home. 99% of his job is being on the phone on conference calls. So he would get the dishes done. He would get the laundry done. Again, I'm not home all day, but it was while he was on the phone. So you're distracted. So yeah, you put me on a conference call, or if I'm on I hate talking on the phone, but let's say it's someone I haven't talked to in forever and I'm engaged in that. I could probably clean my entire house top to bottom if I was engaged in a phone call the entire time, because it's almost like when you get that
well, and that's like body doubling. Me and my sister do that all the time.
But if I have somebody,
you're doing dishes, I'll do some cleaning now too.
I don't want anybody to help me because that just stresses me out more. But just having someone sitting there and talking to me or just being present with me,
engaging your mind,
because it's distracting. Like what's the thing called where you're driving and you don't remember how you got there? Highway hypnosis.
Oh,
it's almost like highway hypnosis, but for a task. When you are on the phone, like I said, you're doing the dishes, you're doing this thing, but you don't realize you're doing them because your brain is completely immersed in that phone call,
that thing,
or whatever it is,
or the person, or their life, and the way you're.
Yeah, and if you are someone that can't just sit still for that phone call, you need to be moving around. You need to be doing whatever anyway. So it's serving two purposes. So I had to tell them, I'm like, look, it is not fair for you to compare the two because one, I'm not home. I don't have a job where I am forced to be in that situation where I'm on the phone, where I would just be moving around anyway. And doing all this work is essentially stimming, So it's not
right.
fair.
So which is what it is. Is this
so
doing that work is stemming when you're on the phone, when your brain is occupied.
Yeah, and so it's not fair to compare those two. And after I explained it all, whatever, then I told him, I said, it would be one thing if on a Saturday afternoon, you hopped up and you're like, I'm going to clean the kitchen. You don't do that. Not is like, me being like, oh, because you're lazy, but because that's not the circumstances in which your brain is motivated to do that. He is not neurodivergent, but it's still, that's why he was able to do it and why it did not work for me. So so I say that to say, if you have a big task to get done, whether it's at home or actually at your job, get on the phone with somebody that you talk to every single day is probably not going to work because you're going to run out of stuff to talk about. If you've got somebody you haven't talked to in a really long time and you want to catch up, well, sometimes there's some people that I could talk to Lindsay like forever. But if there's somebody you haven't talked to in a really long time, or I know people that like if they have a long drive, that's when they'll call.
Oh, yeah, that's what Maggie would do. She'd call me and I'd be like, or if it was even a short drive, she would call me and I'm like, it's 3 minutes. We can't even talk. Why are you calling me?
I think Maggie is the only person that's left watching, but because we've been on for an hour and 12 minutes.
Hour
and 10 minutes. Oh, well, that's it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'll cut the clips from this just like I did
the other ones.
Excellent. The other ones. And Maggie, is that you that's still there? Say hi if it's you.
Or she's like, oh, listen to their crazy.
Yeah, whatever. I cut the clips from the other ones. So that's another trick that you can use. Find something that is going to occupy
Right. So
your time, the other side of your brain.
the other side, right. So that's I totally have to. Okay, so I do this at night. So at night, I have a noisemaker. The other thing, I watch my go-to show, which is the one that's not going to keep me awake because I've seen it a billion times, and it's Hercule Poirot. I watched that Agatha Christie's thing, and it's beautiful to look at. It's soothing. Anyway, but so that's how I shut off my brain because it's antiques. It's gorgeous. It's awesome.
Okay.
Anyway, so
good on you, as my papa would say. Good on you.
But I think it's funny that everything that you're saying for me to get a hard task done during the day is this exact same thing that I do at night to try to get my brain to go to sleep. Try to make my body go to sleep and have my brain say, okay, we can, because we hear the noisemaker.
Mm-hmm. See, mine is, I am dumb as a bag of rocks, apparently, because I'm like, oh, I need to go to sleep. What is the best thing in the world for me to do right now? I know, stick a phone 2 inches from my face and scroll Instagram or look up like, do worms have buttholes? Like the most random things that I can. Or I wonder what happens to that girl that I hated in 7th grade.
Well, okay, I do that before I decide I'm going to sleep and put my show on and that kind of stuff. Like I do that where I'm playing a game. I'm playing like Tetris and I'm listening to the show that I want. And then when it's time to go to bed, I change it. And I'm like done. And I don't look at the phone. Except
I wish I had that. No, that's when I start doing my deep dives. That's when I ain't even gonna lie. That's when I start creeping. Like,
no, that's okay. Like, but so that, there you go. That's the ritual, I guess. I don't know.
It's just how my dumb brain works.
It's not dumb brain. It's doing it for a reason. Because it's like, okay,
yes,
you're physically not tired enough to go and fall asleep. So you're going to look at stuff or I don't know. Yeah.
Or, okay. So actually the other thing too, that, talking about not sleeping, what a lot of ADHD people will do, my leg is bouncing. What a lot of ADHD people will do is we are more productive at night. We are night owls. And so a lot of them, like they've done studies where people will say ADHD people will say their favorite part of the day is in the evenings after everyone else has gone to sleep. And they have that time where nothing is expected of them. They're not expected to be cleaning the house at midnight. Any show they want to watch, anything they want to eat, anything they want to do, that time after everyone has gone to sleep, and they will forego sleep to make sure they get that time. I will do that.
When I was younger, I taught myself to stop that. I had to stop it because I was like, I can't go to school and I can't function if I stay up all night doing this thing I'm loving. And I was like, I just can't do this on my body. I had to change that. So it's so interesting. But so no, my time, actually, I don't have that time alone now because we get up at like 4:30 or 5 or really early and we're up and that's it. I'm up. And but morning, I do work best in the morning. But anyway, okay.
I'm not a morning person. So just to recap the reasoning why. So if you've ever been curious as to like, do I have an autoimmune disease? Do I have this? Like, why do I have so much, pain and ailments? Oh, okay. So we did men real quick. With women, it's all the same things. The stress increases your pain, but then you also add in your like perimenopause, which does cause additional.
Which basically everything you learned up into that point is just gone and out the window. A crumpled ball of paper, and you have to relearn everything again.
Oh, Matt is up. Oh, Matt is on there. Hi. He joined. So Maggie, is it you too?
She might have gone.
Well, there's 2 people watching right now.
Dinner, but that's okay. Hey, boys.
So I see Matt. I don't know who the other person would be. Josh, is it you? Do the middle finger emoji if it is. No, Josh wouldn't do that. He's not a jerk. Hey, why aren't you working? Matt, what time is it? Oh, it's not quite. It's only 3:45. I was just talking about you too. See, some people that follow our page, if like their things are they're anonymous, so It is Josh.
I'm out of
Oh, and his little emoji has glasses on. Oh, so it's Josh and Matt.
Yay.
Hey, okay.
My kids are trying to ransack your desk. Oh, that is hard to keep them away.
Because my desk is full of so much fun stuff.
Yes, that is true. It is.
So,
Well, we might have to. Yeah. I think we might be ending unless we have anything else to say. I love your dinosaur earrings, by the way.
oh yeah, we're in T-Rex earrings.
So cute. Okay.
So yeah, that's what is that? I thought there was one more thing that I was gonna say about. Oh no, okay, haha, I do have another thing.
That was my kids
What
running
is
around.
Matt? Oh, Matt did the Pinocchio. Like trying to say that I'm lying. Not lying. No, that's what
No,
it
that's
is.
just a person with.
No, that's Matt. That's
Okay,
the
all right, keep
long
going.
one.
I
That's
don't
the
know.
Pinocchio one.
Okay.
Okay, so I made us things last night.
What'd you make? What'd you make?
ADHD AF.
Oh my gosh! You made this?
Yes, I made it last night, and because
love
you like
it.
the earth stuff and the
I
marbles,
do.
and then I made this one
Look at
for
that.
me.
Aw. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah, we go this way.
Yeah.
Oh, ADHD. That's so cute.
ADHD AF. But yeah, so you like the earthy, and
I
I
do.
like this, and so I was like,
Aw.
we're dorks. But
Thank
we have
you.
yes. I thought that was very Lynn's.
I
I didn't want to forget to do it.
love it. Oh my goodness, that's exciting.
So yeah, so there's some tips, some tricks. Same thing. Oh, same thing. Okay, like so.
Oh, careful, boys.
For
Get your water.
blah blah blah. Oh, so like for Josh has a lot of anxiety. Like he'll have panic attacks or whatever. There are things. I haven't done it yet, but I'll post it called dopamine menus, and it's where you make a list, and you can even print pictures.
Mhm.
But you make you make a list of things that you love or that you would like to buy or anything that gives you dopamine, but an actual physical thing, or you can put it on your phone.
Okay.
And so when you start, but something visual.
That's so interesting. I was thinking about doing something like that for my brother. Me and my sister were trying to figure out something that we could do because being undiagnosed or we didn't know how to cope. But what we were thinking is that we need to help him to keep those memories, the good memories in his mind, so that he can see it and read it and then
Hey,
be like,
boys,
oh, this is it.
boys.
You know?
Nuh-uh. No.
What did I say?
Out.
Mm-mm.
Out.
That's Michelle's desk. Don't bump your head again. Thank you. Right. So, okay, that's brilliant especially because we need the reward system. Plus, sometimes we forget. And when we're lost,
You forget the good things.
exactly. When you're lost, it's even worse. It's that down spiral that feeds it. But when you see that thing that you're like, oh, I love it. Or yes, hopefully it doesn't go off. So anyway, okay. So
Yeah,
what
I
is it
have.
called again? And
It's called a dopamine menu.
dopamine
And
menu.
You could do it on. I mean, nobody's gonna carry around a paper, so I do think it's best to do it on your phone.
That is neat.
But it is, and you can even make an album in your boys. You could even make an album in your phone where it's things that just bring you joy. So it could be like pictures of cute pictures of your kids, pictures of cars you're into, favorite memories, stuff on your wish list of things you'd like to buy, cute animal pictures, whatever. Stuff that is, when you visually see it, it is going to trigger dopamine. Because sometimes when you're in the moment, if someone's like, I mean, granted, it was different with the little boy when we're trying to do the math problem. But if someone, you're in the middle, you're pissed off, you're stressed, you're about to have a panic attack, and someone's like, think of something good. You're like, oh, I don't know. But if you can just pull out your phone real quick and you visually see it, your brain is instantly, it is going to register that it's going to associate it with good, which is going to start releasing dopamine. So, and I actually think I need to do this for Avery and put it on her phone.
Definitely.
An album, like I said, it doesn't have to just, it could be if pictures of your family, your kids or whatever is going to bring you the dopamine, but anything like your Daddy,
anything of your special interest.
Yeah, Daddy, you could just do a whole bunch of pictures of me,
Okay,
or you
just
could do
right
the
there.
one that was in WhatsApp. You
Right
can just
there.
look at that one over and over again. Josh, that
Your-
car that
Your
you're.
high score on guitar. What is that?
Guitar Hero?
I don't know. I'm just making stuff
If
up
it's
now.
2005, then you can go. I'm just kidding.
Who cares? Yeah.
But like John, like that car that
the
truck.
hot rod. Yes.
Yeah, he wants to build this 30 something truck, or like 1930 something truck. Correct me, I don't know. All I know was
I'm like, I can't throw out numbers, but
a truck from the 30s.
That
is
super
what he's
interesting.
he's
yes.
going to Boston next week to go look at it. He and Aaron are going to rebuild
That's
it.
exciting.
And you know what? Because I don't think that the other person will watch this, but this was, and I don't even think that Josh realized what a good redirect this was.
Mhm.
But he's going through something very stressful, and he knew that he needed to keep his mind busy, and
That is, yes.
so he is going to go get he wants to get that for something for him and Aaron to be able to work on.
Do you already have
Together?
the physical manual? Because you need it, even though you can put it online. But yeah, that way your son can, the microfiche, like get that. Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's something that will
That's so fun.
be a source of dopamine that's going to take forever to do. It's not like a Lego kit where you're like, oh, well, we put it together in a night. What are we going to do? It's anytime your dopamine starts to drop, you can go out to the garage, you can go out whatever, and you can tinker with that.
Mhm.
And even if you are still ruminating on the stressful thing, you're not ruminating on it
Hey.
sitting on your couch. You are able to also be doing something to
Move forward.
yeah, and to be giving you dopamine
It is a healthy project.
because you do need to work through the whole trauma thing, and deal with the problem, but you are also simultaneously doing something that is giving you dopamine that is going to help combat that cortisol, that stress hormone, the bad stuff. It's going to combat that. So instead of you just living
that, and you're like going to be building a memory with your son for
Yes.
for ages. He'll never forget.
yes,
Like that one time that you guys sat in the garage and built this and did these pieces by piece, and how hard it was, and how this and that, and whatever happens on that journey. That's it's real special.
So I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, finding something that will give you dopamine, but a dopamine menu is really, it's really good. Whether it's pictures of places you want to go to, like ballparks that you haven't visited. Matt would say something like, "Oh, put a picture of a nice wife. That would give me dopamine. A picture of somebody that would be nice to me."
Wait, he wants a different picture?
I know, right?
I made a joke now.
He thinks he will tell everyone that I am the most heartless, meanest woman in the world. I am only nice to certain people, but yeah, having a dopamine menu. And actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna make one, and then I'll post it, but not just like a list. Like, oh, these are things that make me happy, like pizza, titties, and Rottweilers. Like, not just that. Don't put like titties in an album though. I lost, the wheels fell off for a second. Like Matt said, amen, like to a nice wife. Okay. But yeah, I think dopamine menu, and even that's something that you can do like when you're stressed at work. If you are like in a bad pain flare up, no, it's not going to make you all of a sudden not have any pain, but it will lower your cortisol. If you're about to lose on somebody at work, step away. Do something that is going to give you dopamine. Not step away as in, okay, time will help lower this. The way that a neurodivergent brain is wired is just removing yourself from the situation alone is not going to bring your cortisol down like very quickly at all. It's going to be like, so your balloon is all the way full. If you put just a pinhole hole in it. It's going to take forever for it to go down. You need dopamine. So if you really want to combat that cortisol and you want to bring yourself down fast, it needs to be something that is going to give you dopamine, which is why what my go-to is every time if somebody's stressed or upset or whatever is make them laugh, because it instantly will start that dopamine production for them to bring down that cortisol level. So dopamine and cortisol. Dopamine combats cortisol. Adrenaline makes you not feel pain. Cortisol makes your pain worse. That's the gist. And we went an hour and a half. But hopefully, Maggie, she watched some. Josh, hopefully this helped you some. I'll send you a bill for this teletherapy.
He's probably listening, and then he's like clicking. He's looking at the parts and where he's going to get them.
Yeah, well, he's definitely multitasking.
That's what I'm saying.
He's multitasking. Josh is not sitting at his computer like this.
I didn't think so. I had to say that. He is
multitasking right now.
Just like, give me that microfiche.
Counting chickens or whatever the hell it is that he does. Yeah. Also, okay, just real quick. What the hell is a 7 protein forward donut? What? I can't say any more than that because it's this top secret thing. I'll explain when we get up. We were looking at the menu yesterday of the new place. We're like, what is a protein forward donut? That sounds terrible. And I blame you because you control the menu. All right. I think
that's it.
This is good. I'm going to pull a bunch of clips from this.
Okay.
And so I'll trim this son of a down.
Yeah.
But
I'll be right there.
I am Michelle.
I'm Lindsay.
This is ADHD.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Like and subscribe.
Yes. Bye.